Y'all on my life, I dance to your tune. Don't staying on beat, don't staying on tempo. As a youngin', I followed your footsteps.
When you start changing, you quickly realize not everyone is comfortable with the new version of you. At times, you're not even comfortable with the new version of you because it's new. It's something you gotta get used to as well. And that can make you question yourself. Because you start asking questions like, am I doing too much? Am I becoming distant? Am I wrong for growing? And those type of questions always pop in the head, but they're really not the real question that should be asked. Maybe the real question should be, who actually feels safe now? Welcome back to Young to the Dark with the PK. I'm Ari. So, if you are used to being agreeable, easy, strong like me, then this episode is for you for sure. We're gonna talk, a lot of your relationships were built on that version of you. And I know for sure because a lot of mine were. And, I'm still that person to an extent. I've been working on changing it, but it ain't the easiest thing because that version it didn't need much, and that they understood everything. That version didn't rock the boat, but now you start asking, and I'm still pretty understanding for real, but at the same time, I'm setting boundaries with those understanding. And I'm not just like, oh, I understand and you get a pass. It's like, okay, I understand why you did that, but not no more. You know what I'm saying? And then, the version that didn't want to stir up nothing. You didn't want to rock the boat. You didn't want to cause no trouble. But now, I'm more so to speak how I feel. And I don't care how they come off because it's my feelings and I'm not holding back. I don't mind rocking the boat because it's about my feelings. You know what I'm saying? So when that version starts changing, dynamic shift. Not just with you, but with others. And when that dynamic shifts with others, it causes a whole bunch of ruckus. Because not everybody agree with your change and your growth and how you were trying to adjust, you know what I'm saying? So you got to find your safe space when you are going through your growing phase, when you are elevating, when you are, trying to change things. Now, safe doesn't mean perfect. Safe doesn't mean never disagree. Okay? Safe means you can say no without punishment. You can express doubt without being shamed. You can be quiet without being integrated. And you can be honest without losing love. Because at times, we say no, or I say no, and it just puts me in like the worst space for real. Or even when I, even saying no to somebody else, they used to you saying yeah to everything, or you being down with everything. They real life like, oh, well, I don't wanna be friends no more. I don't wanna, you know what I'm saying? So that's like a type of punishment. So that's not safe no more. That's not a safe space no more because you realize you can't say yes to everything anymore. And your one no or your no's are causing problems. That's not a safe space. And then you another, what I said, like, not something else is safe is you express doubt without being shamed. So I come to you relationship wise and I'm like, hey, I don't really I ain't really trusting this for real. And if they, comfort you and like help you, then that's a safe feeling, right? Versus them shaming you and dogging you down and just, belittling you for real, then that's not safe. So you gotta, while growing, you also have to find your new safe spaces because you are disrupting old safe spaces because you're becoming a new person. You should be able to be honest with anybody you love, family, friends, lovers, and not lose the love because you're being honest with them. Not lose the relationship because you're being honest with them. A lot of these things should come with feeling safe with a person, feeling safe in a relationship, So that's different from intensity and that's different from chemistry. Safety feels steady. It's a constant thing. It's not an up and down roller coaster of, okay, they love me now or they love me then, but I ain't really sure if they love me now. Nah, it shouldn't be like that. So, I just think that as you grow, you also want to adjust your safe spaces and also, make sure you still have the people that you could confide in and don't feel bad if you're growing and changing and people are falling off because that comes with the process. Sometimes we mistake intensity for connection. Deep conversations, emotional highs and lows, drama that feels passionate, but intensity isn't the same as safety. If you're always anxious about losing someone, that's not intimacy, that's instability. So the ability to have a deep conversation and it not go bad and just to express your emotions, whether you're on a high or a low. Just, we don't want to mistake confiding in somebody and being able to experience that with somebody as a connection. Because it's not always a good connection, Sometimes we connect with people because of our traumas and they call that trauma bonding. So we have to be careful of what we call connections for real and how we're connecting with people. Not everyone benefits from your healing. Not everyone benefits from your journey. Not everybody is meant to go with you as you grow. Some people were comfortable with the version of you that overgave, that over-explained, that absorbed everything. And when you stop doing that, they might say you changed. And you're right. You did change. And that's not betrayal. That's development. That's growth. That's healing. That's something you needed to go through to become a better you. So if people can't deal with that change, right, then they're not meant to be there for real. Not everybody deal with changes the same way. Like some people like things to stay the same, stay consistent, and when things start disrupting that flow of things that they're used to, then their reaction is outburst or to make you feel bad for doing what you're doing when they not understanding that what you're doing is bettering yourself. You know what I'm saying? So if you're unsure whether a relationship is safe, try this. Just express a small boundary. Not aggressively, just clearly, and let them know how it goes. So if like you had some drinking buddies and in your growth journey you decide, I ain't drinking no more. And you tell them, hey, I ain't drinking no more. This is, you setting a boundary. Like, hey, I don't drink anymore. And they react like, oh, nah, you ain't cool no more. What you mean you not drinking? What you mean? Yeah, step back, because you're going a different path than they are. You're starting to go down, or you're wanting to go down a different path than they are. And if they not cool with you not drinking no more, then that season for them might just be over. And that's okay. Because, you're going into a new season, you meet more people. But setting these boundaries with people, you gotta watch their response. You gotta see if they listen. You gotta see if they punish you, if they mock you, anything I'm saying. Because safety reveals itself in reaction. So however they react to you setting these boundaries will reveal a lot. And it'll tell you just how safe these people or that person is. So if you're growing right now and it feels lonely, that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. Sometimes we get in a season of being alone. Sometimes we enter into seasons where we have to be by ourselves. And sometimes God put us in a season to draw us closer to Him and to also elevate ourselves, and get us on a different path that we need to go. And people start falling off. People do. You hear the phrase, or you hear the saying all the time, everybody can't go with you up. Some people you just gotta leave behind. And some people were just meant to be there for a season. A lot of times we want to keep people in our lives forever, and we don't realize that they're just supposed to be here for a season. We don't realize that, hey, they was just supposed to be here from me being 18 to 21. My turning up season. But once I hit 22, I ain't turning up no more. I ain't drinking. I ain't smoking. I ain't doing nothing that no more. So if they if they don't have that same mindset of, I don't want to drink and smoke no more, I don't want to party no more, then you have to detach yourself from that and go a different route, right? But as you go on your different route and everything, you start meeting new people and meeting. You really do meet more people that be on the same type of time you on. And it might feel lonely at first. You might spend a couple weeks, months, really just vibing by yourself. But during that time, you really learning the new version of yourself that you're becoming. You really getting to, develop that new character that you just built. And healthy connections often feel quieter than chaos. So a lot of times we might meet somebody and they real chill. And it don't really seem like, y'all doing a lot. Y'all ain't linking up all the time. Y'all ain't nothing. But if you need them, you can call them. You know what I'm saying? But before, the connections that you have seemed a little chaotic. It seemed a little just, everything was sporadic. Everything was just a lot going on every time y'all got together. But your new connections are more calmer. They're more with the new vibe that you need to go with. So a lot of times, even with relationships, I'm gonna be honest with you, when you go from toxic to healthy, sometimes you can end up being the toxic person in that healthy relationship because of what you're used to. Because you be so used to the toxicness and the chaos that the healthy connection that you have now just don't seem right, and you start self-sabotaging. So it's sometimes we have to, sometimes that's why that lonely season is necessary for us to grow and develop a little bit. But also we think, hey, I've healed for this situation, and then we get put into, say you're I healed from my last relationships and everything, and then you get into a new one and you realize you about to tweak out again. and you realize, why am I about to tweak out? Because you're not as healed as you thought you was. You see what I'm saying? You might have grew and, developed some stuff, but sometimes a lot of things that you work on, you don't realize that you really ain't completely healed from it until you test it again. And when you test it, that's when you learn if you heal from it or not. If you still about to spaz out, if you still reacting the way you used to, or you still doing that, then you really ain't completely healed or grew or learned your lesson from the situation. And that's how the cycles are repeated and everything, because what we're trying to do is find safe relationships after growing, but also grow healthy and also actually heal ourselves. Heal the current self for the future self to be better. So, like I said, a lot of times you don't even realize you ain't really healed from the situation until you enter that situation again. And honestly, you have to be very aware of yourself, because me personally, I'm not one to argue or like really be in like a chaotic situation, I guess you'd say. But you be the person that'll bring it out, and you be like, you just bring this version of me out, and I don't know why. And honestly, they might not be good to be around if they keep pulling that out of you. But also, do you learn how to not react in that situation? Because sometimes people do things just to get a reaction out of you. And they say people that can control your emotions can control you. And I think about that a lot, because I'm really good at taming my emotions. I'm pretty cool with your back and everything, but sometimes I have to take a deep breath and realize we'll stop through some situations. I've been doing that more, because normally I'll probably get I be wanting to turn up here recently, but that's just because I've spent years being quiet and letting stuff slide. So I've been more vocal and more, you not finna do this to me type. And I'm trying to figure out how to balance the two and not be, oh nah, she the turn up, she gonna get in your face, or she ain't finna allow no mess. And honestly, I wanna be that. Like, I don't wanna be the one to get stepped on and walked all over, but I also wanna be I don't play this, but I'm chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how you be. Okay, maybe not, maybe so, however y'all wanna go with it, but I'm about to be real. You know how when you smoke and you high as fuck, right? And you chilling. And you sitting back just high chilling. And some stuff pop off and you like you really in like a calm space, even though stuff going crazy. Like, I'm trying to be like that. Like, really not give a fuck for real. And like, but also handle stuff, but like high. Like, I don't want to be high, like smoking and drinking and stuff like that type. But I just want to be that mellow, But yeah. And basically, what I'm just saying is like, growth is like it's different for everybody. It's different. It's like you have to you literally switching lanes, right? And the people that was running or walking this life with you, this path with you, and you just turn off, they like, yo, whoa, what you doing? Where you going? What's going on? And some people might be like, nah, you shouldn't go down there because you gonna fall off a cliff. Or some people might be like, oh, you a goof for going that way and da. And you think that's the path, or you wanna go down that path, and you trying to heal and you trying to grow, and that's the path you choose. Go with your head high. Don't let nobody talk you out of it. I'm just being real. Like, everybody gonna have something to say, because people just talk and run their mouth whether you ask or not. Now, if you trust these people, like, and you asking for their opinion, then that's different. But I feel like definitely when you grow, you definitely should find your safe people, your safe spaces and stuff like that. I'm always an advocate for finding your safe space, no matter what you do, because it's necessary. Because nothing's easy. So, redefining safe relationships take courage, especially when families are involved. And I say that because a lot of times families be the main one that won't let you go, that won't let you grow. They knew you from when you was a kid, or even your young 20s or your younger days, and they like, man, he tripping, or man, he ain't really about that, because they know what you used to be on. They like, you be like, you smoke from 15 to 35, and you with the same gang, same people, same family that done your boys and everything. They don't see you smoke all them years, and they ain't trying to change that. And you like, I ain't smoking no more. That take courage, because your boys gonna laugh at you. Or your family's gonna be like, man, you been smoking all your life, you ain't finna start that. And you looking at them like, dang, like, I really do want to stop smoking. I really ain't smoking no more. But they be the main ones like, man, you been smoking since you ain't finna stop that. Or like they like, oh, you been doing this your whole life, you ain't changing. When you actually trying to change, that can make it harder, because you just like, you feel like you ain't got no support. And then make you feel like you ain't got nobody, and ain't nobody trying to, rock with you or whatever. So it takes courage. It takes a lot of believing in yourself, and just knowing that you're doing and you're changing for your better. So all I say is continue to want to grow, continue to want to do better, continue to set boundaries, continue to just do whatever you need to do to elevate your life. And in the next episode, we're going to talk about loving your family without losing yourself in the process. Because boundaries and love can exist together. And sometimes it's the hard thing to do. Because sometimes the ones you love don't feel like they should have boundaries. Sometimes you just gotta settle. Sometimes you just gotta put your foot down. But thank y'all for sitting in the dark with me. This is Into the Dark with the PK. I'm Ari. And I do got a question for y'all. So, what does safe actually feel like for you? Y'all leave that in the comments, whatever y'all want to do. You can answer my question. But I thank y'all for listening. Good night.
As I go out on my own, making choices like I'm grown, trying to be in my